1413 Raleigh Tower, runway 5 right to the...
Clear land 5 right, up at 1413.
Boy, he was lucky he heard those chains hit, because not too long ago they did have a truck get stuck in the tunnel down there. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's had a good start to their work week. As you guys can see, we're in a little bit different location today. So we're going to see how today goes. Hopefully this evening's stream goes well. Brian Lloyd, good evening. Nelia, good evening. Vincent, Christopher Sutton. Yeah, I heard that chain and I was like, oh boy, that's not a good sign. he was barreling down in there too. And then he finally realized it and stopped. So I did have a little bit of a scheduling conflict there on YouTube. I must have entered the wrong date. I noticed you guys were questioning it here before we started the show. So hopefully you guys, now anybody who lurks online will see that we're on. So definitely only one side of the airport tonight, unfortunately, as you guys can see. We do have Delta coming in. Southwest making their way in on the other side. So we got Republic Airways 5811 coming in from LaGuardia. The one thing we're going to battle is going to be the fence, unfortunately, and a couple of these signs. I really need a truck or something so I can get over the fence, and even then I don't think we can get over the fence. I even thought about going to the observation deck, but trying to pull all my equipment out by myself, not having any help, that wasn't really an option. And the fact that they close it at dusk, you know, we'd be here for what, an hour and a half maybe. So at least this way we can stay here past dusk if we so choose. But the observation deck, there was really nobody at the observation deck. I just don't feel comfortable trying to make a couple of trips to offload my equipment, and again, it closes at dusk, so it seems kind of irrelevant to do it from there. So we gonna improvise. If you guys have been with the channel for quite a while, you've already seen this spot. We've done this once before. It is quite the interesting spot. Again, it'd be better if this fence wasn't so high, but hopefully we can alleviate that with some settings on the camera, so we don't have too many issues. Matt, good evening. Skating Banana, good evening. And I don't know exactly how well the service performance is going to do down here. It was quite strong a moment ago. Not sure how well it's doing at the moment. Doesn't look like it's doing very well. Again, I was a little bit late, so I'm still making some final adjustments here. So bear with us. See if we can get it to zoom past the fence. Yeah, it's showing the fence more than it is the plane there, unfortunately. Maybe if we go to the tail. There we go. It'll focus right through the fence. It is a bit of an inconvenience and an annoyance, but it is our only option today. We are a lot closer, but I do have a feeling that fence is really going to affect a lot of things tonight.
11 right turn, Bravo 5.
So if we get too annoyed, maybe we'll end the show a smidge early. Want to make sure we get our heavies out of here. Yeah, see, now our service has returned to normal.
10 miles on RNAV, Yankee 5 left.
Delta 2600, Roger, 103010, runway 5 left, clear land.
Clear to land 5 left, Delta 2600.
Runway 5 right, Delta 300.
Waiting on our service to stabilize here. Give me a second. I'm moving the Wi-Fi around to see if we can get a good stable connection. It says we got 4 bars of 5G. There's no reason to not have a good connection. It just acts weird sometimes. So there we go. Maybe we're all right. So as you guys can see, we have the Air France 777 there, along with an American Airlines 737 pushing back again. I apologize for all the stuff in the way. Tonight, this is our only option. Forgot to book the parking for today. I meant to do it yesterday. It was really, really busy. You got to do it 24 hours in advance, unfortunately. And I completely dropped the ball and forgot yesterday. So we'll see. Again, I know the last time we were in this spot, you guys genuinely liked it. If we would have been on the 2-3s tonight, I would have tried another spot. Somewhere a little bit different. Somewhere you guys have never seen before. Somewhere I like to shoot 4K from. Our next arrival is Delta 2600 coming in from Atlanta, Georgia, on that 737-900, as I try not to fall over the curb. Do it with 2 hands tonight. Keep it in focus. So again, that's Delta 2600 coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. So we got another American pushed back or waiting for a gate. I believe that one's pushing back. Looks like we're about to have a whole slew of departures here in a moment. Got another arrival, American 1769 coming in from Charlotte, North Carolina. That one coming in on an A321-200. Arriving in 2 minutes. So we hopefully will have a really good shot of Air France. As you guys can see, Air France beacons on. Hopefully you guys can see that. There you go. Robbie, good evening. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Daniel, good evening as well.
Coming in, probably for 5 left, 805 to go.
Just continue southwest, traffic main, hold good.
Hold position, 805 to go.
Yeah, I think you can continue to 5 left for Oscar, 805
Hit me to 5 left.
Yeah, I did see the A340 yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't out here. I should have come out here and took some photos and stuff, but unfortunately I didn't. I didn't expect it to be departing as late as it did either. So I was like, it'll be gone by the time I get there. Plus, you know, if we were to set up a surprise show, probably wouldn't have been that great. We probably would have run into the same problem we run into tonight with the parking issue. Again, that one's my fault. I got really busy yesterday, so I try and schedule it, set up my parking around noon, and 12:30, somewhere around in there. I didn't take a lunch yesterday, so I completely forgot about parking for today. I think we can do one episode of the show from here now. Alright, again, American 1769 coming in from Charlotte, North Carolina. 28-minute flight for the A321. There it is.
Traffic will hold in position.
Alan Lee with a $5 5-pound super chat. Thank you, Alan Lee. See, there's where we lose the focus with the fence. Thank you, Alan Lee. So again, if I do have another arrival, but as hopefully you guys can see, we do have Air France pushing back. as we do have more service issues.
Right turn left 5 Bravo and over.
Alright, we're going to have an intentional pause here just for a second. I'm going to try. I'm going to see if changing Wi-Fi helps anything. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I know, Titus, I know. Trust me, I know. I'm watching it. Trying to get it fixed.
Raleigh Tower, 0 Foxtrot Golf, on the left base runway 5 right, 0 Foxtrot Golf, 5 Golf.
So there we go. It looks like it might be a little bit better here.
5 right.
I really need my my cell phone, unfortunately. That's the crappy part about this Wi-Fi hotspot not working, is I really need the cell phone to give you guys flight info, but it is what it is. Again, if we can't get it together, we won't stay very long.
2343 runway 5 left at Dollar 2 line, please.
No. It doesn't matter what we do, it doesn't look like it's going to hold. Just give me a second. Alright, maybe we got it for a minute. Maybe. Keyword. Fingers crossed. We'll find out here in a minute. I've made all adjustments I can. Again, if it continues that, then we may not be here too long. There's FedEx coming in from Memphis, Tennessee. It's gonna be loud. Maybe not as loud as I thought it was gonna be. Thank you, Brian Lloyd, for the update. See Alaska lining up out there. So get a last look at the FedEx 767 from Memphis, Tennessee. Brody, what's up? Can see Alaska down there getting ready for their departure. Alaska 572 headed back to Seattle. Air France finally getting a move on there. I've messed myself completely up. Yep, we got Republic Airways 4497 coming in from LaGuardia. That's going to be our next arrival on another E175 LR. 1 hour and 9 minutes of flight time for this one. Looks like it's going to be followed by another American Airlines. Looks like American 600 coming in from Chicago O'Hare. So is Air France going to beat out American tonight? Normally it's the other way around. Our American 777 typically leaves before Air France. Thank you, Captain Carolina. I don't know that we'd be able to see you tonight anyway, buddy. A little bit different of a location. Gotta make some quick adjustments. Well, that stinks. You guys completely missed the departure of Air France, it looks like. So I apologize for that. There's nothing we can do. Sadly. Gonna wait for the American 777 and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. If I can't hold service, we may just call this done for the evening. Maybe we can move. So Camp Carolina, I was really busy yesterday and forgot to book parking today, so that's why we're down here. So we'll see how things go. I'm sure it's open now. I'm sure they open it right at 6 p.m. It's really ridiculous how they do that. So they want you to park all the way on the lowest level, like down on the pavement area, and then walk in or whatever. And so for me, that's not an option, because then I have to carry, you know, all of the equipment up to the top floor of the parking garage, and so that's, you know, me being the only person here, I'd have to do it in 2 trips because I have too much stuff. So yeah, Randy, I know. So if we keep having issues, I'm just gonna end the show. So we'll see. Because this, where I'm at here, isn't free either, so it'll be a wasted show, I think, if we continue too long, if it continues to drop out. I'm trying to keep it from doing that, but no promises on that. It's out of my control. There's nothing I can do with it. Let's put it that way. I've done all I can to salvage the show. Yeah, every time I move, it's like the service wants to go away. It's almost like I need to have the thing in my pocket or something. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Try one last ditch effort thing here, if nothing else. Yeah, it's not going to get any better. So we're waiting on the American 777 to line up here. So that American is American 1701. That's headed to Miami. I'm pretty close to the observation park. I'm just down at the street a little bit. Because the observation park closes at dusk, we had to be outside of the observation deck. So we chose economy 3. Still paying for parking, unfortunately. So maybe now I have it in the right spot. What's up, Alpha Blue? Good evening. Becky Davis, good evening. Yeah, we're having some internet issues tonight. Different spot, different set of issues. The airport always gives us problems regardless of where we're at, but part of it's the heat. So we'll deal with it until we can't anymore. It's holding steady right now where I've put it, so we'll see how long it'll hold up. So we got PSA coming in from Washington, D.C., coming in from DCA. That's our CRJ you've got there on deck, landing. There it is. Hard to see with the sun in your face. So there's PSA. Yeah, I think after the 777 I probably will call it an evening. Trying to see if it'll hold for, you know, like 10 minutes or so. Fingers crossed it will. We'll see. Got a Delta up next. So maybe where I've got it right now is the key. It'll probably drop out once the 777 leaves again. That's typically how the internet works. Dang Verizon. We're just trying to get through one more. if it'll get a move on here. I bet you if we'd have tried this in the wintertime, this spot, I guarantee it would have worked. Seems like we have more service issues in the summertime and in the heat than we ever did in the wintertime. Wintertime, I don't have a single issue. Summertime, though, it's really annoying. Looks like we got a Delta CRJ on the way in. This one also coming in from DCA. So the race was on from DC. So a couple of CRJs from DC. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Santa Claus, and it was funny. We had a big truck hit those and had to back all the way up because he couldn't fit under the bridge. He went all the way down to the tunnel down there and then had to turn around and come right back. All right, 777's leaving. Hopefully we'll be able to see this one tonight. We actually gained some services. That one was leaving. That's American 174 Heavy. Headed it back to London Heathrow. That one there was 100% my fault. I hit the wrong button on the wrong piece of equipment. I thought we were using a different one. So there we go. This is the trouble with having two hot spots. Forgot which one was connected. Looks like the cell phone is doing a better job this evening than the Wi-Fi hotspot. I thought we were connected to the hotspot. But we are connected to the cell phone. I gotta figure out a way to get a different Wi-Fi network. For real, Verizon's frustrating me to no end. Sad you pay, you know, a couple $100 a month for internet for it to not work. Say it's around $100. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Still stinks that it doesn't want to work. Another American Eagle looks like E175. Nope, this is United. United Express E175. But this one's coming in from Dulles. This one's gonna turn out really early here. Got a Delta CRJ coming down the hill. We've got a Delta 737 on the move. Landed at 5 right. We've got 2 new Pacifics here too, by the way. I saw them earlier as I was driving around the airport trying to figure out what we're doing tonight. So it does look like our internet is stabilized. Seems like I've lost the chat though. There we go. Sorry, everything is, I think my shirt touched a button. Anyways, there we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. I also had a issue with the chat, so I was trying to fix that. Next arrival is going to be Republic Airways 5767. I feel like today is my first day. I feel like I've never done this before. Not a good day. Sounds like we got a Spirit Airlines on the way back to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, one of the two. Nice sounding departure from 5 left. 5 right, excuse me. We do have that Republic on final. Yeah, I need something. Exactly, Vincent. That's exactly what I need. It's just difficult when you're out of your routine and you're out of your element and you're out of time. Trying to set everything up as quickly as possible. Do what you got to do to get on air on time. Definitely makes it a little more difficult. If Iceland pulls out right here, that's going to be one heck of a shot a little later on. I think we have Iceland later on this evening. But I agree with you, Molly, by the way. Instagram is the best. I use Instagram quite a bit. I don't post over there as much as I used to. I used to post twice a day there before we started doing the live show. So since we started doing the lives, Instagram's kind of taken a back seat. Can't be at the airport 5 days a week, grab content and do shows. Try to grab as much content as I can while I'm here doing the shows, but sometimes that's a little more difficult. Got a JetBlue A220 lining up over there, just sticking its head out of the alleyway. Yeah, that was a mess, that truck getting stuck. I read about it on Facebook too. I definitely prefer Instagram over Facebook. So if you guys message me on Facebook, you probably won't get read. If you guys if you guys message me on Instagram, I'm more likely to read it. Might take a day or two, but I'm more likely to read it regardless over on Insta. Facebook just bugs me. They've overcomplicated Facebook, in my opinion. Especially when you've set your account a certain way. it made my life more difficult. I also have a WhatsApp too. I never use it, but I do have WhatsApp. I think I've actually only ever used WhatsApp maybe twice, in fact. Alpha Blue, I do the same thing. Make typos, have to delete it, start the message over, delete it out of the chat. Alright. Got a Southwest arrival coming in from Houston. Won't see that though, that's going to be behind us. Next arrival is going to be American 1799 coming in from Charlotte, North Carolina. Another 28-minute flight. For another A321-200. Looks like we got a Delta CRJ on the move. So I guess we got really lucky that they were that they're on the 5s tonight. If they would have been on the 2-3s, this would have been a little bit more difficult. But we might have tried a different spot, one that we've never done on the show. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, you guys know we've done this, or we have done this spot before. If you're a veteran of the channel, you know that. But this is not a particular spot that I enjoy. Again, you saw all of the internet issues we had a minute ago. Speaking of Iceland, we've got ICE 821 coming in from Reykjavik, arriving in just 15 minutes. DB, good evening. Got another Delta on the move, looks like. Is this Delta or our JetBlue? Delta A319, A320 maybe. And being in a new location throws me off my game too. It's all about that muscle memory. Alright, so we should have that JetBlue headed back to Boston or JFK. So that CRJ is headed to Newark, New Jersey. That's Endeavor 5222. That is followed by that A319, that's Delta 2699 headed back to Minneapolis. It looks like that's possibly JetBlue, and that A220 ready to go. I got no flight info for anybody on the ground. So again, we got Iceland from Reykjavik here in just a moment. About 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes or so. So JetBlue is JetBlue 684 headed back to Boston on that A220-300. Looks like we got another departure. Looks like an E175. Might have an awesome sunset here this evening. Let's see, where is that Delta headed? Find out in just a second. That one's headed back to LaGuardia. That's Republic Airways 5816. Our Charlotte flight is on final, American 1799. So did you guys Stitch, I highly doubt it. Being that we already have Alaska Airlines twice a day, I highly doubt we'll ever see Hawaiian. Because they'll just drop you off there in Seattle from here, and then you can pick up Hawaiian from there, being that they're one and the same now. So speaking of Charlotte, by the way, did anybody see that Charlotte knocked LAX off of being the number 6 busiest airport in the world? So that means that Charlotte is busier now than LAX. The problem that I find with that is, and if you guys have been with the show long enough to go to Charlotte or live in and around Charlotte, it's all American Airlines. If Charlotte had the variety that LAX had, man oh man, Charlotte would be the best airport on the East Coast. I feel like, other than maybe JFK, but it would definitely make Charlotte interesting. We do love going to Charlotte though, as busy as it is. So I did turn ATC off, by the way, since we're using our cell phone for service tonight, so I apologize if you guys are missing the ATC. Maybe we can turn it back on and see how it does. If it causes things to go sideways, we can turn it back off. I don't think it will, since I am using Flight Radar tonight and still using the Wi-Fi network. Just see how it goes. So those are the only two things open on there at the moment. So here comes our Charlotte flight at A321. That'd be a really good shot if it was raining. Oh, that one's going to go really long. So not too many arrivals and departures. Hopefully Iceland from Reykjavik won't go that long. Hopefully they'll turn out here closer to in front of us. Looks like we got an E-175 about to depart. We'll turn back to American from Charlotte in just a moment. Here comes our departure. I think the switching of the hands is the most difficult part. You're not supposed to do that when you're panning, but unfortunately, being in the awkward spot that I am, we're limited on options. That American Eagle, that's headed to, that's Republic Airways 4742, that's headed back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So come this summer, if you guys know anything about RDU, we should be over 200 flights a day come summertime. So we'll see how that goes. We're gonna have to book our parking days in advance, I think, this summer. I have a feeling the parking garage is going to be full a lot this summer, unfortunately. So we're going to have to book our days way out in advance, I believe. So we got Iceland coming in from Reykjavik on final. ATC Live, it's been really touch and go lately too. Between ATC and Verizon. Oh boy. They're making my life difficult when it comes to these shows. Yeah, see, there you go. 662 departures and 684 arrivals in Charlotte. Like we were talking about earlier in the show, though, Charlotte has all those flights, you know, 662 arrivals, 650 of those are American Airlines, so it's not you know, you got your cargo stuff too, but I'm telling you, I'd say 640 are non-American Airlines, probably more than that, but you guys get the point. It's way more than we would like. Yeah, for Reed, it's alright. Didn't start out very good tonight, but we're making do now, thank goodness. Everything is looking good. So, Iceland is going to be a max 9. Coming in from Reykjavik, and it's going to be the pink tail tonight. $523 departures and 524 arrivals at LAX. So yeah, there you go. Charlotte doing it big. 100 more than LAX. If you could just get American Airlines to come off of some of those European flights, sell some of those routes out to somebody else, make for a lot of better spotting. Charlotte is amazing though, I have to admit. I do love going down to Charlotte, but to make for an interesting show, the variety's got to be there, I feel like. I've been down there doing shows, and I have had people be like, it's too much American, and then leave the show. So I'm like, well, you know, I'm working with what I got here, you know. Beautiful shot of Iceland. Thank you for not going long, Iceland. See what our pilots are up to. And it looks like we got an American A321 headed back to Charlotte. Starting there. 28 minutes of flight time. I don't know how well you guys can see Iceland with the sun behind us. Let's see. What do we have next? So that American that just departed, that is American 1894, headed to Charlotte. That A321-200. So we got a couple more Americans up for arrival here in just about 10 minutes. As we got Delta on the move. Or United, excuse me.
Over departure, good day, Kodiak 551.
United definitely going to go long there. I believe that was a max 8 or a max 9. Jeff Davis, we're closer than that. I think we're like 85. So we'll try and give you guys an official number. I know Greg was talking about it earlier before we started the show. So we are at 4920. So we're just 80 away from reaching 5,000. Tonight's probably not the best way to gain subs though. So let's see, United 1769, that's headed to San Francisco. That was a 737 MAX 8. Again, headed to SFO. Looks like our next American arrival is going to be Republic Airways of 4596 coming in from Music City, Tennessee. Coming in from Nashville. Arriving now in just 7 minutes. Should be on the downwind, fairly right in front of us. But with the sun, can't see nothing. So thank you guys for all of the 5 new subscribers. We started the show with 915. So thank you guys. Yeah, Eagle, we're in a little bit of a different spot tonight, unfortunately. So I'm down in the economy lot, close to the observation deck down here. And again, like I stated before, the only reason we don't choose the observation deck is 1, I don't want to carry all the equipment by myself. 2, they close at dusk. So we'd have to be done and out of there, you know, before they come and run everybody off. So that's not good either. So we come down here to the economy lot next to the observation deck. Needless to say, if you guys were on the observation deck, we could swing the camera around and see you guys waving. That's what happened the last time we were down in this location. Right next to the road too, so you guys just saw the top corner of that bus go by. We've already had a big yellow Ryder truck smash the chains and have to back all the way up from the tunnel, all the way back up here and go the other way. That was definitely interesting. I heard a loud crash and I was like, what was that? And I saw the chains swinging back and forth. So yeah, we struggled to get started, unfortunately, today. So you can see the bus going by there. We struggling with service issues. I finally found a happy place for the cell phone. Can't use the other thing. But the reason we're down here is because I dropped the ball yesterday. Was working so hard I completely forgot to reserve our parking for today. So again, I apologize for that. That one was my... There we go. So there wouldn't have been much of a difference. I need to rename both of my Wi-Fi hotspots. I keep turning off the wrong one. So hopefully it didn't cause our chat to lag again or mess up again. I don't want to go through all that again either. Dang, looks like we got some storm clouds to the south of the airport. Thank you, Molly. Molly gifting 1 Carolina Aviation membership. Greatly appreciate that, as always. So like I was saying, you can't And so I get off about 5:30, depending on the day. And so when you try to book the parking, you've got to do it 24 hours in advance. Sometimes even doing it 24 hours in advance, it's like, no, you're cutting it too close. You can't do that. So missing it yesterday at lunchtime when I normally do it, it sets up for a bad day. So again, we're doing something a little bit different tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We are a little closer to the arrivals. Either way though, we would have only been able to see one side of the airport tonight. Oh, Nelia gifted a membership. There you go, there's those clouds. Thank you, Nelia, for gifting a membership. I missed it because I messed up and hit the wrong button on the Wi-Fi there. But thank you, Nelia. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, there are those clouds we were talking about there. So Republic Airways 4596 is going to be our next arrival here in just a moment.
Stall departure 1 Delta.
No, Jeff, unfortunately I can't. I am right below the tower though, but unfortunately I cannot see the fire station. It is right behind me though. If we have an ambulance come through, it's going to be extremely loud because again, like I said, I am right up against the road. So anything that comes through here is going to be extremely, extremely loud. So there's our Republic coming from Nashville. Ooh, you know who we might have over here on this side? We might have our FedEx feeder, which just popped in on my screen. So if we've got our FedEx feeder ATR over here, that'll give you guys a nice close-up shot of them. But at least one of them. They like to split up the runways. This one's going to pull out early. Now, I don't know how this is going to look at night either. I don't remember if we stayed until after dark the last time we did a show from here or not. Jeff, you need to hook me up with some AT&T. Get me some Wi-Fi. Because Verizon's not doing me very well. I like mint chocolate chip. Mint chocolate chip is definitely one of my favorites. I'm alright, Becky. Trying to bring you guys a show. Trying to put on a decent show for you guys. Next arrival is going to be American Airlines 2105 coming in from Miami, Florida. This one's going to be a 737-800.
Tower, Metro 2105, shoe inbound 5 route field site.
Yeah, exactly, Eagle. The problem with that is too, they may not have fast upload speeds. So that's when you're talking about doing a show like this, you've really got to be talking about the upload speeds. I could have the world's greatest download speed, but if I don't have upload speed, we don't have a show. So that's the problem we face, and upload speed is always lower than download speeds. So that's always one issue that we always have to work through. There is one really good thing about this spot, is how close we actually are. Getting the camera dialed in to not be freaking out with the focus, I'd say this is a fairly decent shot. Dang, PSA's already turned around. They're ready to go. The problem though is this stupid fence. And even having a truck and standing on the roof of it, I don't think you'd clear the fence. Unfortunately. The plane gang, what's up? Good afternoon. Good shot of this PSA. American Eagle headed up the hill. Yes, Jeff, I love it when they park it there too, when it breaks down. I've come out here several times and gotten some wonderful pictures. I do have some pictures of it over on Instagram, of it parked right in front of the observation deck there. Oh no, I hope our FedEx feeder is not going to go to 5 right tonight. That would be really sad, if I'm honest. So we got Southwest trying to figure out what they're going to do, it looks like. Hopefully we'll have a Southwest over here on this side. That would be kind of a good surprise here. We do have a Delta getting ready to come in on this side. Delta, is it Delta? Is it Delta 2992, also coming in from Miami, Florida. That one's on an A319. So the race between Delta and American from Miami was on. We got United 2192 coming in from Newark, New Jersey on a Max 9. That's arriving in just 8 minutes. He's behind us. You'd think they would have came around the opposite direction there. But we'll see what happens. That FedEx feeder as well, that ATR behind us. Hopefully we'll get that one on this side. Normally the first one of the night is usually on our side, so fingers crossed we get that one over here. So the plane gang, I am near the observation deck. I am just down the street. I'm looking right over at it. Alright, so Southwest is going to continue and go over to 23 right. So we'll be waiting for our next arrival, which will be that Delta 2992 coming in from Miami, Florida. Again, an A319. That one says it's arriving in about 1 minute. Anxious to see what United's going to do.
Southwest 1544, visual 5 right.
1544, on big 5 right, please.
Clear line on 5 right, so 1544.
Looks like we got a Delta pushing back over there. It's a lot quieter down here too. Definitely no bells. Sorry, Molly. Dang, plane gang. Yeah, this is one of our odd shows where we come down here. Again, this is only the second time we've done a show from here. So we are trying something a little different. If I could have got on the corner, I think things would have been a little bit better. The only problem I really have down here is I feel like I'm exposed. All the traffic and the cars going by, it bothers me. Only because, you know, you guys know what's happened up on the parking garage. We need more locations. Should call somebody here at the airport and be like, hey, I need some exclusivity. You guys are funny. Come on, Delta. So sad news for our guys that enjoy the props. For those of you who enjoy our props, it looks like our ATR's headed in the other direction, unfortunately. That's okay. Yeah, one of these days, Molly, I still gotta do that. Speaking of which, I need to text somebody here at the airport. Yeah, hopefully we have bells next time. Hopefully we'll have a nice sunset here in about 20 or 30 minutes. Yeah, Jeff, they definitely do. We almost had that one get stuck tonight. Luckily, he realized he wasn't going to stuff that truck in that tunnel. All right, so Delta 2992.
2992.
About to touch down. Here it is, just over the terminal.
Right. Clear lane 5 right, bound 75.
Nice silhouette of our A319 there with the setting sun. And our ATR's touched down. I hear it on the ground back there. Maybe actually, you know what? I bet we will have a nice close-up for you guys. Just because it landed back there doesn't mean it won't come down the hill. I didn't think about that. So maybe we'll have that ATR down here in just a minute. Vincent gifting a membership, I believe. I don't know why that didn't show up on my thing. There it is. Vincent gifting 10 Carolina Aviation memberships. Thank you so much, Vincent. Greatly appreciate that, as always. And a reminder, speaking of membership gifting, this weekend, this Sunday, it's the last Sunday of April. So we'll be gifting out our 5 memberships for the last Sunday of the month. So if you guys are interested in a membership, we've got more gifting on Sunday. There, the 27th. And then that following Sunday, we'll have more to gift. So a total of 10 from me over the next 2 weeks. Nice early rotation for that American Eagle. Come on, ATR, please come down this way. Don't go down the other way. I can hear it ever so faintly. So it looks like our next arrival is going to be another Delta. No, this is going to be United from Newark, New Jersey. United 2192 on that 737 at max 9. 1 hour and 8 minutes of flight time. For our max,
2192 is 7 mile visual final, runway 5 left.
as you guys can hear, the ATC is really far behind. They're already landing. They're not 7 miles out. They're already down. Max 9 is going to run long. Don't know where our ATR is. Oh, our ATR has already come down the hill. Came down behind us, unfortunately. Alright, so we do have another departure. Looks like a Delta 737.
Yeah, how's it going, buddy? I used to work at the Rib Tower. Remember we met that day?
Oh, yeah.
On Aviation.
Hey, bud.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
410 to the south, information hotel, inbound for Echo 322 program.
222-0443, United.
Into the trees goes Delta. And United moving quickly. Thank you, Molly, for the update. 101 likes. There definitely is something to be said about that shot right there with the sun going down with our planes in the background. Next arrival looks like it's going to be an American Airlines. This is going to be American 1888 coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth on a 737-800. lose it there behind the sign.
Trigger 4497, contact park for this. Runway 32, clear land, wind 1006.
32, clear to land, 22. Bravo to the ramp, contact ramp, United 2192.
Yeah, I saw the A340 here yesterday. I thought it was going to leave on time, but it didn't. So I didn't bother coming out here to try and catch it. We have seen the A340 here a couple of times before, or at least I have. It's been on the show a couple of times as well, the A340 for Lufthansa. Yep, flight radar is absolutely amazing. That's what we're using tonight. And that Delta a moment ago, by the way, that is Delta 2600 headed to Atlanta, Georgia on that 737-900. That's the one, our last departure we caught a moment ago. Thank you, Matt, man. Glad you like this location. We had a lot of positive feedback the last time we did it from down here, so I'm glad you guys like it. It takes me a minute to get used to changing locations. You know, whether it be on the parking garage or down here or wherever, even going to different airports. It takes me a minute to get things right where I need them, especially down here. I've had to do some stuff with the with our Focus tonight that I don't normally do in order to make it work here up against the fence. Looks like we got a United on the move. You can definitely hear the planes a lot better down here. That Max is going to run long. I have a feeling that's another Max 9, possibly a Max 8. And we're getting ever closer to our sunset here. Looks like we're going to have some clouds get in the way. Use a Nikon Wind Pilot with a nice big long lens. Should probably switch to an actual video camera, but I make do with what I got. So that you guys see the extra shaking back and forth when they're on when they're moving. That's the lens trying to stabilize. So the stabilization in a photography lens is a lot different than a cinema lens or a video camera. So if you guys are ever wondering why it looks like it's bouncing back and forth, it's the stabilization in the lens itself. Because that can't always be super smooth. We can also do some bus spotting if you guys are interested in buses. Looks like we got another one up for departure. Looks like another United Express ready to go, and another E175.
035 to takeoff.
So if the focus isn't quite correct, again, I've had to do it manually to make things work tonight. United rotating early, making it easier for me to get that shot. Alright, so I made some changes. Let's make sure everything's still in focus the way we want it to be. Looks like it is. Alright, so we haven't done a sunset shot in quite a while, so there you guys go. We'll get the last couple minutes of the sun going down here. So I haven't gone to any of the other airports. They say GSO, say Greensboro is not very spotter friendly. I haven't been to ILM. Might have to make a day trip to ILM. The thing I look for when it comes to picking airports to do shows from is how busy it is. If you're talking 130. Say if you're talking 150 or less flights in and out a day, it doesn't make for a good show. So unfortunately, smaller airports typically aren't on our radar as much as the bigger ones are. But we do go to Charlotte every now and then. I need to make another trip up to DC eventually. I need to do that without saying anything. Just get in my car one day and go. Because the last time I took vacation time for it, I ended up getting COVID. Spent my entire vacation at home instead of bringing you guys a show. And I ended up having to take a couple extra days off from work because of the COVID last year. So that wasn't a good situation for me at all, or for you guys. So hopefully one of these days we'll be able to get back to DC. So David Johnson, I will be going to the air show. As far as I know, that is my wedding anniversary that weekend. So me and my wife were talking about going to the air show. Now, I don't think I'll be doing a show from Seymour Johnson, but I think we'll be going down there and enjoying the weekend. So that week of the show, which is what, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we may have to make some changes to our days. I actually need to check and see ticket prices and all that. So if you guys do go to the air show on the 4th of May and you have Instagram, you guys can reach out. Can meet you guys while we're down there. But it's not set in concrete yet. Again, the wife and I want to go. We have everything set up to where we can go. But, as many of you guys know, and like I just talked about Dulles, DC, we typically tend to have issues. So I don't plan too far out in the future because I never know what's going to happen. Like right now, I've got a sick child at home. Hopefully, you know, he doesn't end up in the hospital again. As many of you guys know, he was in the hospital over New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So, you just never know. And he is pretty sick right now, so we have to keep an eye on his blood sugars and stuff. So it is just one of those things when you've got a type 1 diabetic child, one that also suffers from seizures, as many of you guys know as well. So it's really hard for me to plan out weeks in advance. I like to be like, oh, this and this date, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. But again, that doesn't always work. James K. Might have to take you up on that. I know Miss Ramona lives down there by ILM. I think she works somewhere really close to ILM. So she puts in a lot of good photos and video. Speaking of which, if you guys haven't gone and checked out our wonderful friend Ramona Aviation, please do so. I think she's dropping videos daily. Thank you, Molly. And I was receiving texts a moment ago. By the way, that's what I was stopping to read a couple of text messages. They're at the doctor right now at urgent care, so fingers crossed. Ooh, so it is free for Wings Over Wayne. I saw a thing on Facebook talking about get your tickets, but I think that's for like the premier part or the VIP area. No, I'm not quite at the spotting deck tonight. I'm just down the street from the observation deck. So thank you guys who have subscribed to Ramona. She is also on Instagram. She said something about backing off the Facebook. So if you guys don't mind going over and visiting Ramona, I'm not sure if she's still in here or not, but she's working hard posting videos daily. She comes and hangs out with us on the weekends so she can grab as much content for you guys as possible. And then of course we have Nelia, Miss Madeira Woman Spotter, another great affiliate of the channel, a good friend of mine. She's going to be on really, really early in the morning. She's going to be on at 3 a.m. She switched her schedule. Normally she's on at 9:30 in the morning. Sometimes I catch you guys in there. So thank you guys for going over and watching her show in Madeira. Always a great show from her. Yeah, Becky, it's been what, 7 years I think since we found out my oldest was type 1 diabetic. So I don't know if you guys know, but or deal with diabetes at all, but Anytime you get sick, your blood sugars go haywire. So that's one of the issues we have. Me too, plane gang. Yeah, I've never been to ILM. I have to go down there and check it out. Speaking of ILM, got our FedEx feeder, Mountain Air Cargo 7508 coming in from Wilmington. Our second of 2 ATRs tonight. This is an ATR 42. That's a surprise. So that's one of the smaller ones. That one is arriving in 5 minutes, but I have a feeling it's going to do like the first one and come in over on 5 right. Our next arrival, though, is going to be JetBlue 1185 coming in from JFK. And so this one, Molly should be excited about our next arrival from JetBlue. This one's coming in from JFK, New York. 1 hour and 9 minutes of flight time, but this is the new JetBlue livery on that A220-300. That one coming into view now. There goes PSA. PSA was sitting up there in the penalty box there for a moment. Yeah, there's a couple of airports that I want to go to, but it's getting the time off to go down there to put on shows, especially like Seymour Johnson. I got a friend of mine, he's always talking about, I need to go down there and put on a show on a Thursday afternoon. But it's hard to do when we're working, unfortunately. There you go, Molly, our new A220 livery. This is one of her favorites. I do love this livery. They're coming in pretty hot. So you guys are hearing PSA over there. The microphone's pointed in that general direction. A nice close-up of this Pratt & Whitney's. Our A220. Yeah, that's one of the things that I worry about too, but a friend of mine was like, yeah, I go down there all the time. They wave at you, this, that, and the other, because he said there's a spot by the fence or something. I've never been down there. We'll see May the 4th. See how that works out. We'll try something one of these days down there. Again, I just got to have the time off. I think that right there might be our screenshot of the night, 804. That might be our thumbnail this evening. So we got a Delta departure. Delta E175, getting a move on, getting out of here. That FedEx ATR did touch down 5 right, unfortunately. Maybe this one won't disappoint, and it'll come down the hill right here in front of us, and we can get a really nice close-up of the ATR. Hopefully it doesn't go all the way down like the last one did. I'll see myself. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you don't need to come at me with guns. I got this. I'm out. See ya. Sorry to disturb. FedEx, come down here. Nope, FedEx is bypassing us. Gonna go around it the same way the other ATR did. So I apologize, you guys. No fun ATR action for you guys. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, it's definitely been a wild 7 years or so. He's 15, so yeah, it's been a rough road, to say the least. That's just one of the issues, but. So this is American 2985 coming in from Philadelphia on a 737-800. And again, as you guys can hear, ATC is behind, unfortunately. That's what happens when you stream it via the internet. It's never actually live. One of these days, maybe we'll get another scanner. I need to see if I can find one that I can plug into our equipment here, so it's easier to hear and adjust. Seems like American's doing, I know we talked about this the other day on the show, American is really pushing the 737s here. Well, so Daniel, she took him, he's got a cold is what it is. So he's not like super sick at the moment, but he's got a cold, so she took him to the doctor, took him to urgent care. She was at home waiting on an appraisal person to come out to the house, and she told me earlier in the day, she's like, I'm gonna take him to the doctor. So it's not, it's not life or death right now, let's put it that way. He's got a little bit of a cold, so she wants to see if we can get him some antibiotics and get him feeling a little bit better. He missed school today. He was at school yesterday, but it's nothing serious. I wish the parking was free where I was at. So yeah, she didn't take him to the doctor for like blood sugar or anything like that. She was taking him because of this cold. He's had it for a couple of days. We've given him medicine at home and stuff like that, so she wants to get him some antibiotics in his system. Yeah, if it was serious, I absolutely would not be here. Trust me. I've missed numerous shows. My kiddos are my #1 priority. So don't worry about that. If she were to call me right now and be like, I need you right now, I'd be out of here. She's sending me text message updates, so we're all good at the moment. I've had to do that several times. Leave work and go do all of those things. Thank you, Matt, man. Greatly appreciate it. I do have to admit the parking tonight is a little bit cheaper. It's not a whole lot cheaper. Again, I would love to be up on the observation deck, but see, right now we'd be packing up and ready to leave because it is dusk and they do shut that down. So unfortunately, that is where we end up with the issue with the observation park there. So that one there, that's headed to LaGuardia, that's CRJ, that's Endeavor 5101. The one in front of it was PSA, that's headed back to DCA. We saw that one land from DCA a moment ago. Let's check flight radar here, see what we have. Do we have anything else? One just arriving in Charlotte. As a matter of fact, we don't. Nothing close. So we do have a departure right there, so we may consider cutting this one short, just because of the fact that well, it's not going to be a whole lot going on for the next hour. See what happens here. Yeah, it pretty much is. Davis, good evening. Because it's not like, you know, when we go to the parking garage, obviously that's our normal location. Down here it's not as interesting when there's no planes coming in and out, because up here you got no we got no ground crew to watch. We got no, you know, we got nothing to look at. So it's interesting to see that, you know, interesting to be here with no planes, because there's nothing really to look at. We don't have it, to be honest, we don't have anything on this side for, well, at all. Yeah, we don't have another arrival on this side for 42 minutes. That's the closest one. That's Delta 2600 or American 2600 coming from Miami, so we'll wait on this departure here. This looks like an A321 getting ready to head back to Charlotte. After that departure, we may call it a day. So Davis, we're down here in the parking garage close to the observation deck. The one interesting thing about this spot at night is when they start pulling all the planes over here for overnight. Because this right here directly in front of us, if you guys don't know RDU Airport, this is the overnight parking pad right here directly in front of our location here. You can see the stairs. Let's show you guys. So from about where those stairs are, I guess they're toward the end, all of this here in front of us is the overnight parking lot for the planes. And it extends all the way down to the North Carolina building, the university's hangar. I think the last time we were here, we were waiting on them to put planes over here, and they never did, so that was unfortunate. As soon as I ended the show that night, though, I think they pulled one over here. There's that A321 getting ready to head back to Charlotte. Yeah. What is that? That's Wheels Up coming from Greensboro. I That'll be on the other side. Yeah, we don't have... Yeah, 40 minutes away. We'll wait on this departure, and then I think we'll call it a night. Tonight. Yeah, I can't wait for the air show. Again, I'll be down there the 4th. So if you guys are down at Seymour Johnson and you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys can hit me up on Instagram. If I believe there's enough service down there. Again, I've never been there. That's one of the other things that you got to worry about when you run a show like this. As you guys saw at the beginning of the show, we had a lot of problems tonight with cell phone service. So that's something I can check while I'm down there, in fact, is whether or not we have enough cell phone service to run a show if we ever decide to run one. So we're just waiting on that American departure. That's going to be our last one, I believe. Being that we only have the one runway here. Because there are Southwest and stuff coming in about 20 minutes, but again, we're far enough away. Again, you can't see the other side, so. Yeah, the Blue Angels at Cherry Point was fantastic. I really enjoyed that show. We were there for that. That was absolutely amazing. So we're going to go see the Thunderbirds for the first time this year. I'm trying to remember when the Blue Angels will be back in North Carolina. I think it's next year. I think a friend of mine sent me their schedule for 2026. Yeah, that bird's like... I feel like he's on this light pole above me, but I can't see him. Could be in this big tree right here beside us. Alright, come on, Charlotte. And that light above me just went off. That's good. Open flight radar back up so I can give you guys that flight information for whoever this is. Thank you, Molly, by the way, for posting up the link to the Instagram there in the chat. So if you guys are going to be down there, you guys can find me there on Instagram. Just hit me up with a message. All right, here looks like our last departure. If this is our American A321, I think we're going to call this show done for tonight. 40 minutes is just a bit too long. And I got to be up at 5 as normal. Give you that flight information as soon as it pops up. We don't have anybody else leaving. Send it to the tail of our American there. And that's gonna. So American 1904 headed back to Charlotte, that A321. Let me give flight radar one more look here. We got nothing. Even the next closest southwest for the other side is 22 minutes. So that's going to do it. We're going to end this show here tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on a, well, what was a difficult Wednesday to start the show. Again, I apologize for the difficulties starting the show. Oh, we do have one more departure. Hold on. The difficulties getting tonight's show off the ground. Different location. Had to figure out what to do with the Wi-Fi. Which one to use. Looks like a United A320. So, that's it. Let's figure out where United's headed, and then we're done. I want to thank all my channel members, moderators. Thank you, Vincent, and everybody who gifted tonight. You guys are amazing. Molly, Vincent, Nelia, everyone who contributed tonight. Again, I apologize for how hard it was for us to get the show off the ground tonight at different locations. Messing with the Wi-Fi, stuff like that. That last departure was United 24. Are we going to have a string now? What's happening? United 2407 headed to Houston. But thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Short show, I know. Looks like this one's headed back to Atlanta. Have any more? Exactly, Jeff. V1 was difficult. Anyway, thank you guys for spending your Wednesday evening with us. I wish it could have been better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the location tonight. Again, a little bit different of a location. So we'll see you guys. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll be back Sunday afternoon, probably around our 1 p.m. hour as usual. Try to get here right before our American 777 gets here. And that was Delta. No, that one was headed to LAX. So that was Delta 462 to Los Angeles. All right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you guys Sunday. Thanks, guys.